Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today on our show, we have the shy, and hopefully we can have him come out of his shyness, the great Ed Turney of Rockstar Kickboxing, located in Miller Place, and yet there's a new location. It's Lake Grove. So welcome to the show, Ed, and welcome back to the show. I can't believe that it's been a year since we've spoken the last time.
Yeah, I think over a year.
A little bit, yeah.
I was looking at my Facebook memories. It was like a couple months ago was a year.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And you just opened another location of your kickboxing studios or gyms. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's in Lake Grove?
Lake Grove,
whereabouts?
On Middle Country in Hawkins, by the Good Steer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been exciting. This is our 13th day open.
There you go. There you go. And you were, in Miller Place for 15 months in the new location in Miller Place? Because you were in Miller Place someplace else, though, right?
We were in Rocky Point for about 9 years.
Okay.
And now about a year and a half in Miller Place. We built a brand new gym last November.
Yeah, I remember that.
Place. That was a crazy couple of months.
Yeah, I watched you through social media with all that excitement. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. I think that was the fastest a gym's been built in the history of gym building.
Wow. Well,
it was like 40 days. We built it and started.
Leave it to you to do something like that. And what, you're in business 11 years in October, you say?
11 years in October, yep.
Wow, that is outstanding. So
time flies.
So what's so rewarding about having your gym, your Rockstar Kickboxing gym?
So I think last time I told you, I kind of fell into it. It was a complete accident. Now for me, I don't really work with the clients so much anymore, but I have, two great teams.
Right.
So almost 100% of our teams are clients that started, got the results, went through the process, fell in love with it, and then we hired them as coaches.
Oh, wow.
So we don't even hire outside anymore. And in many ways, I don't even want to hire outside because there's kind of like this long onboarding process. But when someone comes in and they're in a state of pain and then they go through the first 6-week challenge and they spend a few months and now they're, feeling better and healthier, and they usually ask us, can we join the team? And so the biggest thing happening right now is, can we be coaches? And I'm like, that's just the coolest thing ever. I think it's just a good sign of like culture and growth. And so, I think that's the most rewarding thing right now, is to provide either part-time or full-time opportunities for people that want to do what, they saw,
and what they went through.
And what they went through.
Yeah. I think the best coaches, and being a mentor, of course I would say this, but the truth is the best coach has been through it. Yeah. And so through that experience, you can help people hurdle what you went through, so maybe they can avoid it. It's kind of observational, and you can pass it down. So I love that you hire the very people who are going through your programs. And let's talk about your culture, because you have a very specific, fantastic, very positive culture, and that's you, Ed, through and through. How do you do it? How do you set up the culture, and then how do you maintain that culture?
I think it's two things. So I think all CEOs must be dictators, right? But it depends on what you dictate.
Right.
So I dictate kindness is the most important thing. So we have different core tenets that people learn as they go through onboarding and as they become employees. And the first core tenet is kindness over everything. And so mistakes are always okay. We don't micromanage the day-to-day operations, but kindness is at the top of the list, right? If you can't be a kind person every single day, whether you're feeling good, whether you're feeling bad, whether you get personal, stress, because we all do,
you're right,
you can't be part of the team. So being a dictator of that, and I use dictator comically, right?
Yes.
But forcing that to be the number one thing, the North Star that we're always working towards, and then not getting upset about anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's how you create the culture that grows organically. I'm not constantly micromanaging and checking in. Mistakes happen. Like the amount of mistakes I make every day is ludicrous, right?
And
so I'll never criticize someone else for making a mistake.
Of course.
But literally there's a zero tolerance policy. Like you snap at someone, you're mean to a coworker, you're mean to a client, like you're going to go right away. And I always tell them this when I hire them, if you're too emotionally weak or broken or whatever, that you can't know how to be nice no matter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think starting with that idea has really helped us grow the way that I always wanted us to grow.
Yeah, because we all have challenges through the day, but we don't necessarily have to pass it on.
There's no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. A matter of fact, going to something, one of our core values here, and we speak about it a lot, is going outside of ourselves and helping someone else. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're serving someone else. Will make them feel better.
Yeah.
And also it will, in a lot of cases, the universe provides us with examples of how people are going through rougher things, makes us look at what we're going through and being challenged with as not as rough. And then that just makes it more manageable for some reason, don't you find?
It's empathy. We talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Like, empathy is a superpower.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, And I try to really have perspective. Like, every day I do the normal cliche things of think about gratitude and all the things I'm grateful for. And that totally works. But in the moments of like stress and the client is upset or, like things happen, that's the moment you got to go back to the empathy and the gratitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's when it really hits the road is because now you're seeing if you're really doing it.
Can you apply it?
Yeah. So you say, the normal cliche gratitude, there's really nothing cliche about it, because if more people were practicing gratitude daily,
100%.
the world would be such a nicer place.
100%.
And right now it's a little cranky.
Yeah.
Just
especially this week. I don't know what's going on this week.
Yeah,
something's going on with the stars.
There's a shift, and Mercury is retrograde.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like everyone I know is just like on edge.
Yeah. No, and everyone is being challenged the last week and a half, I would say.
Yeah,
and it's kind of overbearing. But what I do see is a shift in momentum of how they're dealing with it and handling it. I see people going through it, having it, but not reacting like they used to.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit better. Yeah. And I liken it to the learning curve. So, you start with a learning curve that's 2 weeks long, and now it's 5 days. And now it's 1 day, and then it's seconds that we can switch from being cranky to, you know what, it's not so bad. Yeah. We'll get through it. Just another challenge that we can get. That goes back to the kindness and the gratitude. So I really don't take it for granted, because until we're all being really, really grateful all the time, and it's something you have to learn. I talk about it on the show that it takes 15 days to create a habit and 90 days to create a lifestyle change. That goes to the gratitude as well. Does that go to kickboxing and that strength that you build? Would that apply to that?
Yeah, I think so. People sign up for the gym for a very simple reason. They want to lose weight, feel better, look better. That's the main thing. And we talked last time, but it's not why they stay.
Right.
Because you can do that anywhere. You can just go on YouTube and get workouts. And I always say, people don't need our gym. They don't need a gym. They just need to move more and eat less. It's not hard to lose the 15 pounds, right? But the reason they don't do it is because of those habits. They lack the habits.
And the motivation.
And, and motivation can be fleeting, right? But when you have a community of people, and most importantly, you look to your left and right, and there's other moms like you, there's other women like you, and they're doing it or they've done it, you're like, oh, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know the Roger Bannister story? He's the guy that broke the 4-minute mile?
No.
So I'm going to get it wrong, the timeline. I think the 40s when he first broke the 4-minute mile. Anyway, he's like, I'm going to break the 4-minute mile. It's the world record. Scientists were like, you can't. It's impossible. Your heart will explode.
Right.
He goes, screw you, I'm going to do it. He does it. And then the next year, something like 25 people did it as well. And to this day, tens of thousands of people have done it, including high school kids.
Yeah.
The only thing that changed was the thought that it's possible.
Yeah, we talk about mindset all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I actually bring my clients through an exercise that the Olympic athletes use, and it is all about mindset. It's about visualization. It's about mindset. It's positivity. It's for some reason we're brought up to limit ourselves, and there are no limits unless we put it on ourselves.
Yeah.
I liken it to a story of when I was sewing, and it sounds it's kind of different, but maybe not so germane to some of the male listeners we have, but definitely to the female ones. Well, there are some male sewers, but so I was sewing. I decided I moved into a brand new house. I decided I wanted to make these curtains, so I go out and I get a pattern, and I had learned how to sew from mom, and I get a pattern. I couldn't find any I liked except this one. So I bring it home. I do it. I have to call mom a couple of times to help me around a couple of challenges that I had, and I make them. I'm really proud of them. They look great. It is exactly what I wanted. I take pictures, and my mom calls me back. She's proud. I send her an email with the pictures, because at the time we didn't have text. And she says, I just have one question for you, Lori Anne. I was like, sure, Mom, what's up? She said, why did you pick the most difficult pattern to do. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, that particular Vogue pattern is the most difficult sewing pattern you could have chosen out of all of them. Why didn't you pick one of the easy patterns?
You didn't know better.
I didn't know better. But because I didn't know I shouldn't have been able to do it, I didn't have that limitation, and I did it. So I liken it also to raising the bar. Raise the bar on yourself. Just keep holding it up. So by being accountable, and we talk about in mentoring, we talk about accountability all the time. What they do get in your gym that they don't get at home is accountability. You have that person to the right and left of you also holding you accountable, maybe not on an actuality, but in your mind they are, because you're showing up for you and you're being accountable to your other classmates.
And they also have a coach that's assigned to them for their accountability.
Nice.
And that's really when you know, like, someone's going to, check in with you, or like they're expecting you for class, you're not going to skip. Like, it's easy to skip the gym. It's really hard to bail on a friend or a coach. And that's why mentorship, you already know, that's why mentorship works.
Yes.
Humans need humans. It's biological.
Yeah.
We don't want to let somebody else down, but we'll let ourselves down every day of the week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and it's great. It's great that people have mentors in their life, and they have coaches in their life to hold them accountable. And also you do create really good friendships. I know my clients and I, the ones that I'm mentoring, we have great friendships, and it's close. And, I feel like a cheerleader on the sideline, and it's so exciting when they achieve their goals. Every time they hit that mark that we're going for, that benchmark we've set, it's so exciting. And you must see that day after day, week after week in the gym.
Yeah. And it goes both ways, because the coaches get this huge response. Like you said, like, they love to see the clients win. Like, it's driving them. Like, if you just taught fitness classes and that's all you did, and you didn't track progress or work with people directly and have that connection, man, that gets old fast.
Well, and that's the difference between a YouTube video, is that there's no connection there, and humans need connection.
That's why I don't think the VR virtual workouts are really going to work. Yeah. Like, I think everyone will try it. I could be totally wrong. Technology always wins. But I don't know. I've never seen someone love it. Love the virtual thing.
Well, the thing is that you can see them, and they may be able to see you. It's like having a Zoom meeting. That's
cool,
That's definitely cool.
But the robot that tells you what to do doesn't seem to work.
No. Well, where's the connection there?
Yeah.
And letting down the robot, no big deal.
Exactly.
Letting down the AI doesn't matter. Yeah. Still goes on with their day. It doesn't change it. It has no emotions.
Humans have emotions. We don't want to let someone feel bad. Like someone's waiting for you, you're not going to bail.
And that's part of your success and your culture and finding the right people. I love your story about elevating from within, and just having people want to do that. Because I know when I get passionate about something, it's like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I want to help somebody else and pass it on. So it's a pay it forward type of a scenario.
One of our other core tenets is that conviction changes lives. So we talk about it all the time. Like, if you don't have conviction in what we're doing, like, don't work here.
Yeah.
And that's why the people that have gotten the results, actually, they do the best, And you'd be like, most entrepreneurs are shocked at like how little training we have on enrollments, or like, I don't focus on that. Are they super fired up and convicted about this? Because that trumps everything else.
Yeah.
Like, you can lack all the skills, but if you believe it and people feel it, that's what builds things.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also for me, when looking for clients, the clients have to have that fire in their belly.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to show up for themselves unless they have that fire. So when you have a goal like losing 15 pounds, that's a fire. You probably want to you have an event coming up or something coming up. It builds that fire, so you keep that momentum and you stay on track, and coach can help you do that, and your team does. Yeah. And it's really good. Really, if you haven't been to Rockstar Kickboxing, you need to go to the one of two locations, Miller Place and Lake Grove. It's really exciting. I want to start talking, though. You said something before about lifestyle change and food and eating food. We can just lose food by eating the right things and combined with movement, some kind of movement. You've actually teamed up with a company that does food prep, right?
Yeah. So we're going on 11 years being in business, and I've never been able to find a meal prep company that I could like co-sign and support for a lot of reasons. Right. So one big problem is that Most meal prep companies are like the local guy, which they super mean well and they're wonderful humans, but they don't have the scale to be super accurate. So like I would get things, take it home, put it on my food scale, it'd be over or under. And when you're really trying to, lose fat, like those numbers got to be on point.
And when you say over under, you take out a piece of chicken and you put it on the count on the weight.
Yep. And it's either under what it should be, and that means you're overpaying, or it's over, which is like, cool, I got more for my money, but that's going to mess up my calories,
Right.
So being super accurate with your macros is incredibly important. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that almost all the companies, they throw like a lot of like cheeses and salts in to make it taste better because it's super, super bland food. Or like to try to get their protein number up on the label, they'll throw cheese and other things in because, buying protein's expensive, right?
Right.
So they're trying to be competitive with their prices, but then you're not getting the good quality food. And then convenience, right? Like most places you have to go pick it up from, or you have to get orders in by a certain day, and it's like a 5-day wait period.
Yes.
And even if they do deliver them, it's always different times, and there's just not reliability. Because if you're meal prepping and you're on like a 6-week program, you miss a day, like you're going to go out and grab something that's probably not good for you.
Sure.
So a good friend of mine, a mentor, a business coach, Alex Hormozy and his wife, Layla, they launched Prestige Labs company about a year ago, and now a Done For You Meals company. They're based out of Austin, Texas.
Done For You Meals?
Done For You Meals, yeah.
Okay.
It's prestigelabs.com has all the info. But it's the food's delicious, which is kind of important because no one's going to create a new habit unless it tastes really good and it's convenient.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The math on the amount of time.
I hate eating and going, ew.
Yeah.
While I eat. That's not cool.
Because it has to be a lifestyle change, right?
Yes.
Like you can eat boiled chicken and broccoli.
Did you say lifestyle? Huh. Yeah. I love that name.
Go figure.
I know.
You can eat boiled chicken and broccoli every single day to lose weight, but you're not going to do it forever. Like it has to be good food, right?
Yeah.
But they solved all those problems. And so it's delivered to your door, super fresh. It's vacuum sealed, but you're the only company to actually vacuum seal. So like it's made fresh and instantly vacuum sealed.
So you don't prep. It's already prepped.
It's already prepped.
Okay.
It's in the microwave for 2 minutes and you're good to go.
Okay.
And literally you peel the vacuum seal off it and the broccoli's like crunchy. And there's actually vegetables, which is amazing. Most meal prep companies don't do vegetables.
No.
Which is like shocking, right?
They usually do some kind of starch.
It's usually just carbs and protein, and it's all types of weird balances.
Yeah.
But me and my girlfriend have been using them for the last 4 months. It's all we eat now. Because we can literally measure out our macros to the actual gram.
Wow.
And like our results and our coaches' results and clients' results have been so much better because there's no guesswork. It's a little bit over, a little bit under. It is exact every single time.
So you keep talking about macros. Explain to our listeners macros.
So macronutrients, just a basic way to understand, how to calculate, body mass and lose fat. So your proteins, carbs, and fats. So having the right percentage of each of those three things is the most important thing. So most of your calories should come from protein.
Right.
Second most from veggies, and then third most from carbs and fat.
Are you a proponent of eliminating all carbs?
I'm not, because it's really hard to stick with it. Now, if you go no carbs or keto, all this stuff, it's going to work. It's going to work. And if you can keep doing it, go for it.
But once you stop, it just comes back.
Yeah, so I'm just about what's sustainable. What's sustainable for the average really busy mom with 2 or 3 kids, and they work full time, and they have other responsibilities. So the average woman actually spends 10 hours a week going to the grocery store and making the list, buying the food, bringing it back, fighting with the kids over the candy, cooking the food, and not even eating it. So it's an average of 10 hours a week just getting the food ready.
Wow.
So if you're a busy mom and you can win 10 hours a week back and have it all done for you, and it's coach approved, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it took a long time to find a company that I believe in that has the right food and nutritional stuff, but also it tastes great and they're a great company.
And what's the portion sizes like?
You can customize it to 4 ounces or 6 ounces, whatever you need. Working with a coach, they can customize it for you. But usually 4 ounces or 6 ounces of protein, and then the right balance, what I talked about, macro of carbs and veggies. And yeah, it's been a lifesaver for me because I don't want to cook. My girlfriend does not want to cook for me. so she doesn't have to cook for my meal prep anymore. So she's saving 10 hours a week.
Wow.
It's been great. It's been really, really great.
Really? And what inspired them to do this?
Well, they work with a lot of gyms, so they're just problem solvers. They're just naturally problem solver entrepreneurs. And they're such a power couple. You would absolutely love them. And so they saw the biggest problem, no matter how much people worked out, no matter how much supplements they took, all the stuff, if they didn't eat the right stuff, they're not going to get the results.
Right.
And so and they saw all the problems with meal prep companies out there. And so they're like, we'll make it better. And they just made a company that's remarkably better.
So they found, as good entrepreneurs do, they found a hole, they found a need, and they filled it.
Yep.
Outstanding.
That's the game. Go figure, that really works.
Outstanding.
And then they worked really, really hard, tirelessly.
Yeah. And how long have they been in business?
Prestige Lab's been around for about a year and 3 months.
And they used to be supplement, right?
They still do have a whole supplement line, which I use every day.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're in a program and supplements, I would recommend checking them out. But like, everybody needs food.
Yeah.
Food's the most important thing. You get supplements too. Right. Supplements are accelerators, but food is like basic. Like, you don't eat right, no matter how many miles you run and no matter how many squats you do, you're probably not going to get to where you want to get to.
Right. Understood.
Yeah.
Hang with us for a moment.
Sure.
You're listening to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. And of course, follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. We love hearing from you, and I always answer every single email and post personally. So, definitely ask us those questions, and we'll send you on to wherever has the answers, because I don't usually have answers. And also, we'll be live streaming live soon on Facebook. So hang in there. Go like us on Instagram and Facebook, and this way you'll be able to see our live streaming. Can't wait to do that. And we'll have to have you back, Ed,
sure,
for that, because I know you hate being on camera.
I'm very shy.
You are. You really are.
There's a camera on me right now.
Right. As there's cameras in the studio right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you're going to live stream. That's great.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. So
super smart.
I have all the stuff, and our good friend here, producer Michael, he's hooking us up. So
nice. That's great.
Real excited about it.
You're going to broadcast from your personal page, the business page, both?
Yes.
Great. Good answer. Good.
Yeah. Just putting it out there, and hopefully catching whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever.
You'd be surprised.
I love just disseminating as much information as possible. It's a great platform that I was graced with, and so I like to use it with kindness and make sure I get everybody's information out there.
Are you on TikTok yet?
Actually, I just started on TikTok. I was talking to my good friend Corey, and he was telling me about TikTok, and I was like, all right.
Start right away.
Yeah, started right away, and on fire.
I'm not surprised.
On fire.
There's a real moment right now. You could get a lot of people.
Yeah.
Big audience. Help a lot of people.
It's good. And I like doing that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about done for you meals. They're by Prestige Labs.
Yep.
And the Prestige Labs is a supplement company, but then they found this hole and this need, and they filled it by making good food. So what does the meal look like? I know you talk 4 ounces, 6 ounces. That doesn't mean much for me because I don't do math. So it's like an average type of a meal. I mean, obviously we eat too much here in America. It's just crazy.
Well, that's the thing, is when you have the right balance of proteins, carbs, and veggies and healthy fats, like, you're not as hungry all day long. Like when you actually hit the protein goal that you should have, you're not snacking on crap, right? Like, protein curbs sugar cravings. So we have a joke. There's like the girl with the cupcakes at 1 o'clock. Like, crazy. Like, that happens mostly because you're not eating enough, not because you're eating too much.
Right.
You're not eating enough healthy proteins, and that's why you're always craving the fast carbs and the fast sugars to digest quickly. So when you have the right amount of proteins, you're like, oh, I don't need the cupcake.
And do they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Or they just do dinners? Or
it's mostly lunches and dinners. I mean, I eat the meals for breakfast.
Right.
Some people are not into eating chicken and broccoli, whatever, or ground turkey for breakfast. I don't care.
Right.
I'll eat the bison one for breakfast.
Cool.
Yeah, bison's really good. They got steak, ground turkey, roasted turkey, grilled chicken. I mean,
what if you're a vegetarian?
Vegan ones, they have like the Beyond Burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's Beyond or Impossible, but it's one of those.
Impossible.
Yeah. Really good.
Wow.
Yeah, like, shockingly good. And I have some of my best friends are vegans, and they were like, most is good.
Yeah. I had that burger down when we went to Epcot and tried it. They said, it tastes just like beef. I'm like, yeah, okay. No, it's not gonna. It tasted just like beef.
Surprising, right?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I question whether or not it's really, really healthy, though, because I can't believe anything fully totally plant-based would be able to taste like that, but somehow they did a combination.
Yeah. Just a matter of getting the right ingredients.
Yeah. So you say it's filling, and you're how tall? 7 feet?
6'1".
Well, to me, everybody's really tall, so you're 6'1", and so, you're filled, and you just eat 3 meals a day, no snacking in between?
Sometimes I do shakes in between. We encourage clients, what's nice is that since you know exactly what your calories and macros are, because it's super on point, if you need to do more or less with protein shakes, you can be super accurate.
Right.
So, we do a lot of one-on-one nutrition plans with clients.
Right.
And so we'll be like, you need X number of grams of protein for your goal. And
how do you feel that? How do you figure that out?
It's pretty simple. I mean, basically it's like, what's the goal? How fast do you want to get to the goal? Do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to go slower? Do you want to have cheat, meal, date night? Do you not? So it's a personality thing more than anything.
Right.
So the super I want it as fast as possible. We're like, all right, we're going to cut a lot and work out extra, and we're going to be super, disciplined. And some people are like, no, I can take 4 months to get to the goal.
When someone's super disciplined like that, and how often is it that they stay that super disciplined for long periods of time? Because remember what we said, the 90 days to create that lifestyle change.
Yeah. If they're like that, they're generally like that regardless whether they're working with us. It's just their personality.
Gotcha.
And our job becomes remarkably simple.
Right.
Yeah.
But when somebody is a little bit not as committed, that takes a longer time. But is there a less fall off rate because the combination is right?
That's a good question. For me, if people get past their first 8 weeks, I find tremendous success. So again, back to that 90-day kind of period, that 8 weeks to 12-week zone is where people either really turn it on or they really flake out. And not in a bad way. It's just sometimes not the right time for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't judge them on that. They might come back later and finish it.
There's no judgment. At least they started, they tried it, they're going to come back.
Well, let's talk about that. People are just beating themselves up left and right. The idea of perfect is the biggest problem with the fitness industry, right? Trying to be perfect, trying to eat perfect, trying to whatever.
Well, look at the visuals they give us, you know? They give us those visuals. They airbrush all the men and the women. Everybody looks perfect. They airbrush in the muscle marks and stuff like that.
The 19-pack abs.
Yeah, exactly. 19-pack abs. Yeah, it's just, I think I have an ab and a half. No.
It's good.
No, it's just, I'm on my way. No, it's just, it's unreasonable. And then for us to have that, we hold ourselves to the standard that's almost impossible. That's why we see failure and people don't get out of the gates, right?
But even the girl on Instagram that is super shredded and you look up to and you want to be like her, if you don't think she's messing up and failing all the time, you're delusional.
You're right.
Of course she is. She's a human being.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, if you have those crazy abs and you look amazing, you worked really hard for
and
it.
God
You know
bless.
what I mean?
Yeah, you should show them off.
Exactly. You should. But she messes up too. She has a donut once in a while too. She has a stressed out day and eats shit. It happens.
Yeah.
But my big thing is don't beat yourself up. Just don't, when you start beating yourself up, the mistake, quote unquote, not a mistake, but the whatever you're considering a mistake, it just extends. You do something on a Friday night and then your whole weekend's blown because you're just dwelling on the mistake you made. It's just shrug it off and be like, oops, all right, get back on track and just not be so upset.
Right.
And if we can get through that message more, the success rate you're talking about would be way higher.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of they can't do it. These are simple things. Again, eat the food, move more. Super simple.
Right.
Why don't we do it? We self-sabotage. We dwell. We feel bad about ourselves. People are also sometimes addicted to that failing feeling. They want to feel bad from. They like the victim mindset.
Yeah.
You got to go from that victim to the victor thing.
Yeah.
So,
mindset is really important.
It's everything.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Mindset is everything. And so I like to say, when you do have that cheat day or that cheat moment or that moment of weakness, or you fall off, or you don't do something, or you miss your exercise that day, or you miss your even meditation, which I encourage everybody to do every single day. Just get back on the next day. Yeah. Don't wait till Monday. That's what I hear a lot of people go. They do it on Thursday and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back on Monday. I was like, why are you waiting to Monday?
Every Monday is New Year's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's New Year's Day 52 weeks out of the year.
Exactly. So just get back on the next day. That's the cool thing is it's a new day.
Moment.
It's a new day. Yeah. You can get on the next moment. You can get on the next hour. You can just get back on.
Exactly.
And don't beat yourself. There's nothing good comes out of that. Beating yourself up. And it come from me. I used to be the worst person to myself. No one could ever say anything harsher to me than I said to myself. Held myself to a standard that was just totally unreasonable. Now I laugh. I laugh a whole lot. A whole lot. You think you make a lot of mistakes? Oh, for God's sake. It's just when I try really, really hard, I make the mistake. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We make mistakes. We're human.
Yeah.
We're supposed to. And just trying to get better at it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I call it the reverse golden rule. So, the golden rule is treat others the way you treat yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's backwards. We treat everybody else really nicely.
Well, we should.
Yeah. I mean, but in my life experience of 34 years, people are generally nice to other people, right? There's always exceptions and crazy people, right?
Sure.
But like the way you treat other people, treat yourself like that. Like when I taught martial arts to kids, we used to talk about bullying, and I used to be like, hey, so, Johnny, would you call someone in your class, mean or a bad name? And they'd be like, of course not. I'm like, cool. So we don't call ourselves that either.
Yeah.
And like their eyes would like it was the first time this idea for like an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But like we do that. Like we're, like you said, mean to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like the inner dialogue is so negative and toxic. It's like you would never say that to your sister, your friend, your loved one. You would never do that.
No, you would say, oh, okay, it's no big deal. We'll pick it up. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you could do it. It's not a big thing. I went skiing recently with my son, and he was beating the crap out of himself because he kept falling down.
Yeah.
And he would pick himself up and just keep going, and he would fall down again. And I'm telling him, you ever see the movie Liar Liar?
Yeah.
I'm kicking my bleep. I said, why are you doing that? Well, you're kicking yourself. Yeah, it was really very cute. And he was like, yep, but nope, I'm staying in until I get this. And you know what? By the end of the day, he was definitely snowboarding a whole lot better. And awesome. He didn't get down on himself. He just kept getting back up. 24. And he just kept getting back up and going forward and moving forward. And he didn't hold himself to this level that was just unattainable.
Yeah.
So, and I love that positivity. And if we all could do that, if I could have done that years and years ago, gosh only knows what I could have accomplished.
Yeah. But you wouldn't be the person you are now.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
This is very true.
That's the catch, right?
Yeah, that is the catch. That is the catch. But I could have had a lot more years saying, sharing this information and going forward. But you have to experience it. But be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You can't appreciate the sunny days without the storms.
Yeah.
But that perfection thing is a prison.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't you're literally building a prison around yourself.
And the other thing is comparing. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Because that's not your body shape. That's not who you're going to be. I'm never going to be, the zero.
Well,
I'm never going to be the size 0. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Instagram is
and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Instagram is taking away the likes.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. They're starting to do that in certain areas.
Oh, that's good.
I love it.
I do too.
I absolutely love it. And because there's so much judgment on, like there's 12-year-olds that post a photo and then doesn't get enough engagement and they delete it. And it's just crazy stuff. So it's helping.
Social media to me has turned into bullying platforms and it can be used for good. So we should try to use it for good.
Yeah.
And I know you use it a lot and you use it for good. You disseminate information out there. You're always sharing. You share good things like done for you meals, which I want to, circle back to. I'm really excited about it because
I'm going to send you a bunch.
That's cool. That knowing that's out there and knowing that people can have something that's done for them. I know so many people are so busy. They really want to eat clean. They just don't have time.
And they're tired.
Moms
are tired.
Yeah. And just think, if you didn't have time, if you didn't have to do that, you'd make a little bit more time for yourself to create those new good habits, like going to kickboxing, like going to work out, like putting your body in motion.
We don't realize how like that 10 hours a week is like a national statistic. Like
That's
just
amazing.
think about that. You know what I mean? And like you don't feel it because it's not in a row, but like it's 45 minutes here, it's an hour here. It's the average person goes to the store 3 to 4 times a week. Oh my God. I can't even imagine. I would never go to a store. Like I just don't have the time to do that. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine what a mom of 3 kids is busy,
Yeah, it's crazy because been there, done that, and it's crazy. And how many times you have to handle the product? So you go to a store, right? You pick out the product, you put it in the basket, then you have to take it from the basket and put it on the belt. Then you have to take it from the belt and put it in the bag that you now have to pay for. And then you have to take that bag, put it in your car, get to the house, and then bring it home, and then put it away. Look at how many times we touch that one product.
It's insane.
So that 10 hours makes a whole lot of sense. And we could be doing all kinds of fun, happy things and like meditating in those 10 hours if we just gain that back by having these meals. So when you went through this discovery process and you added it, how long have you been
4 or 5 months now?
Yeah. And have you seen really great results with your clients?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the physical results, but again, like it's not hard as long as you do it, right? But if it's not convenient and simple and if it doesn't taste great and it's not consistent, none of this works. Like the consistency is the most important thing, right? Yeah. Like the people that do have that crazy discipline, to meal prep for 2-3 hours every Sunday, you know what I mean? Like to do the shopping and all that stuff. I have clients like that too. Like they don't need these meals, right? Yeah. They already got it.
Yeah.
But most people don't have that super disciplined mindset. You know, like one Sunday you have a christening to go to, and now you don't meal prep and your whole week is shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that consistency is just everything. So yeah, results have been great.
That's amazing. Just totally amazing. So let's just go through the 3 problems again with meal prep companies.
So the convenience thing, we'll talk about that. Like if you have to go pick it up and then it's late and then they close at 4 p.m. on Sunday and you get there 4:02, like that's just a nightmare, you know? And then if they do deliver, they're often not the same day and time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then it's the actual food. Like it's not reliable of how much protein it actually is or how much carbs it actually is, because not that they're intentionally trying to deceive you. It's just to have the equipment to be so precise is really hard. Like you need the $1 million facility to do that.
Right. And
most places just don't, you know, it's okay. And then it's the loading up of cheeses and salts and sugars to make it taste better, and the weird, you know, seasonings and stuff. Those are the 3 things. Like it's got to taste good. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be convenient. And if you're working with a coach, like it's got to be coach approved. So, you know, if you have a coach that's a nutritionist or, you know, whatever fitness coach, they're going to know what you need, and they can actually customize exactly what you need on the site and just click and it goes to your door. Like it just doesn't get any easier. And in days of like 1-day shipping and day of shipping, like, you know, this is what people expect. The consumer expects Amazon to be today, you know?
So spoiled. I actually added something. I ordered something from a different website that was not Amazon.
Oh, the worst.
And it took a week. And I was like, oh my God,
First world problems,
I was like, oh wait.
But it's true.
I need to ratchet that back and roll back. It's a week. What's the big deal?
Yeah, it's true though.
Yeah, it really is. And
when 2-day shipping came out, it was like, oh my God. And now we're like, why isn't it here today?
Why am I waiting so long?
It's just how technology goes fast.
What's next on the Ed Turney road? Yeah.
More of the same. A good business mentor of mine once said, do the boring work every single day and you'll build good businesses. And so that's what we do. We do the boring work every day. Do you have
boring work during your day? Because I love what I do.
Well, I don't dislike it, but it's what people would consider boring. You know what I mean? Like you make all the phone calls, you send all the text messages, you do all the posts, you get back to all the clients, you do all the one-on-ones with all your team members. You know, it's like, it's the consistency. Back to consistency.
Yeah, consistency is key, is absolute key. When, you know, when I'm speaking to my clients, it's like, okay, why do we think we're having this pushback? Is because you're giving different answers. Yeah. You know, one day because you're having a good day, the answer is this. Same exact stats on another day, you give a different answer. We need to formalize what your answer is going to be. And you need to be consistent with what that answer is so that you build that culture.
Do you strictly work with entrepreneurs, or who do you coach?
I work solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and wantrepreneurs.
Gotcha.
So, you know, anybody who's having a problem, I work with non-for-profits as well. A lot of times they get to a place where they can't hurdle, and it's because they're trying the same thing. So they're spinning in a wheel. I basically get the gerbil out of the wheel. And we get them onto the next area so that they can find those successes. So they got to a point where you can get successful to a certain point, and then you can't get past that barrier. That's where my sweet spot is helping them jump that barrier. They have the things in place. And startups are really, because teaching them from the beginning to have good habits and have good products in place and programs in place, and not trying to do everything themselves. You're good at your wheelhouse is X. The rest of the stuff we need to hire other people, and most people are like, well, I don't have money for that. Don't worry about it. You will. So you need to have a different mindset of abundance. It will come. I promise you it will come. Universe never fails us, ever, ever, ever.
A lot of times you need someone to be in your corner telling you that.
Yes.
Because it's scary. You know what I mean? Because it's their money. They're looking at that account. You know, how could I possibly afford this? But knowing how to delegate out and grow infrastructure. I'm all about that.
And getting out of their way. And I'm like a lifetime cheerleader.
Right.
So also
great job.
It's an awesome job. Also, as a mentor, I don't want to be with that client forever. We build the relationship, give them the tools they need, and let them fly. When they need, they can come back anytime. And, you know, touch base, invariably they do. But I want them to fly so that I can work with other people. And also, I don't want to be a forever mentor for a specific client because they need to, you know, move on and use the tools that we're talking about.
Have you read Extreme Ownership?
Yes, I have.
Jocko's one of the most well-known business coaches ever. He's got the same philosophy. He's like, you can't be with me forever. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You need to be able to grow. Thank you so much for being on. I just want to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
If you were to tell our listeners anything in 50 seconds or less, what would that recommendation be? What would that guidance be?
Stop judging yourself. That's the main thing. Don't beat yourself up. I think that if you are looking for the negative and looking for what you're doing wrong every day, you're going to find it.
Right.
But if you're looking for what you're doing right and looking for what your strengths are, like you talked about, you're also going to find it. So again, it seems so simple and basic, but the most advanced things are the simplest things. My background's in Chinese medicine a little bit, and I can read and write a little bit of classical Chinese. The word for profundity is the word for miniature. It's the same character. So it's the smallest, slightest thing that's also the most profound thing.
Yes.
And that idea has really carried me through a lot of hard times. Like, well, what's the simple solution? What am I not seeing that's so basic and simple? And so just zoom out and be like, all right, like no one died today. Like, it's a good day.
Good day.
Like business problems should not stress you out.
Exactly. It's in the simplicity. I love that.
And we have that promo code if you want me to share it.
Oh, yes. Definitely
so
do.
If anybody wants the done for you meals, you can go to Instagram, go to rockstar_kickboxing. If you DM us, we'll give you a 25% off promo code for the first order. So it's rockstar_kickboxing on Instagram. Just DM us. We'll shoot you a link and you can try them out.
And we'll also put it in the information when we post this all over the place like we do.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for being on again, Ed.
We're going to do it again.
Absolutely.
When we go live streaming.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. My heart is always lifted by sharing this time with you. I want to thank my guest, Ed Turney from Rockstar Kickboxing. And also I want to thank our producer, Michael, because he's just superstar. So again, I always say this, we're here to serve one another. So take a moment, step out of your day, do a little something for yourself and for someone else. And when you do those little something, it takes 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to build a lifestyle, and start with one habit and build it and see what happens. And you know what? Send us a message. Let us know what's going on in your life. We're really interested. Thank you again for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Until next time, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big.